Rental yields in the Dominican Republic can vary by 2 or even 3 times for 2 virtually identical apartments. And the reason isn't just the property price. A lot depends on how correctly the property was chosen. In popular resort areas like Punta Cana, Cap Cana, Bavaro, Bayahibe, Las Terrenas, and Sosua, a smart choice can yield a net return of 8 to 12% annually after management, cleaning, and maintenance costs. For the best properties in premium locations, this figure can reach 12 to 14%. For example, a $250,000 apartment nets the owner $20,000 to $25,000 a year. And for resort real estate in the Dominican Republic, these figures are considered the norm. But there is a very important point here. Many investors make the same mistake. They buy an apartment they personally like for vacations and automatically assume it will rent out perfectly. That is far from always being the case. Tourists and investors look at real estate in completely different ways. Here are 5 main factors that determine future rental income. The first factor is the location. It is the location that has the greatest impact on the daily rental price and the property's occupancy. The closer the property is to the beach, golf course, restaurants, shopping centers, marina, and other tourist attractions, the more likely it is to be occupied most of the year. In addition, you need to look at the amount of competition. If there are many rental offers in the neighborhood, occupancy will be lower. An extra 5 to 10-minute walk to the beach can significantly reduce the rental price and the number of bookings. The second factor is the infrastructure of the complex itself. Today, tourists have become discerning and choose not just an apartment, but a lifestyle. A large pool, or better yet several, a gym, restaurant, lounge area, spa, security, beautiful lobby, playgrounds, private beach club, all this allows for a higher nightly rate and significantly increases the property's appeal. The third factor is quality management. You can buy a magnificent apartment, but if the management company responds poorly to guests, rarely updates photos, allows negative reviews, or doesn't maintain cleanliness as it should, the income may be much lower than expected. Professional management today is not a luxury, but a necessity. The fourth factor is the right layout. Very often, 2 apartments of the same area bring in completely different rental income. When buying an apartment, you pay for square meters. A tenant, however, looks at the number of people who can be comfortably accommodated in this apartment. For example, a 2-room apartment often generates significantly more income than a spacious 1-room apartment of the same size, because a family with children can stay there, whereas a 1-room apartment only fits 2 people. That is why, when buying investment property, it is important to think not only about the design, but also about the functionality. And finally, the fifth factor is the uniqueness of the property. Competition today in the Dominican Republic is quite high. If your apartment looks the same as 100 other listings in the same area, it will be harder for it to stand out. A beautiful interior, modern, high-quality furniture, quality household appliances, a spacious terrace, a private jacuzzi, a magnificent view of the sea, or a golf course, all this allows you to increase the rental price and the number of bookings. There is also one more point that many people underestimate. The Dominican Republic compares favorably with many other resort countries in that the high season here lasts almost all year round. Renting out brings a stable income almost year-round. That is very good. However, it is important for an investor to understand that in addition to annual income, there is also property appreciation. And for a successful investment, both of these components must be in balance. You should not focus exclusively on the maximum rental yield. Sometimes an apartment with a yield of 7 to 8% from rent ends up being much more profitable than an apartment that gives 10 to 12%. If the first one, for example, is in an area with high potential for value growth and the second one is not. Ideally, investment real estate should bring 2 types of profit at once. This is regular rental income. And the second is the growth in the value of the property itself. It is the combination of these 2 factors that allows an investor to get the maximum return on invested capital. Therefore, my main advice is always the same. Do not choose an apartment just because you like it. Choose a property that tourists will like and the development area itself has excellent growth potential. And be sure to analyze 5 key factors: Location, the complex's infrastructure, a high-quality management company, functional layout, and the uniqueness of the property itself. It is these 5 components that ultimately determine whether your property will provide the maximum return on invested money in the long term. Properly chosen real estate in the resort areas of the Dominican Republic is not just a place to relax. It is an asset that simultaneously allows you to receive a stable income, use the apartment during your own vacation, and significantly increases in price over time. See you next time on the channel.